Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We'll take a look and see what it's doing. We'll look at the dollar, 10-year yield, precious metals, and then the companies themselves to see what the overall sector is doing. It is, I think, a solid sector given the market conditions. Market conditions being an inflationary period with rising interest rates. So we have real negative rates. A rising interest rate will force money out of bonds and usually out of stocks, depending on how fast those rates get and how high they get. And I can go over all this information, give you my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. Here we go. So we got the DXY behind me. DXY was up 0.29%, and we're coming right to this corner here that where I think we could potentially turn around. But here we are in the corner. We got some resistance above it at some point. Will this go and turn head back down? I think so with time. The exact timing, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think anyone knows the exact timing. But usually under inflationary periods with increasing interest rates, that's when the dollar starts to get a little weaker. The 10-year yield is rocketing higher, up 7.82%. We're at 2.315. We have broken this long-term downtrend line in yields. There's the long-term downtrend line. I am stating that we could potentially have a new shift to increasing rates with the downtrend break and us moving higher, which is a new paradigm. I think that we will see an underperformance of the stock market and bond market. And I think that money's going to rotate over into precious metals and commodities and real estate. Gold was up 13 bucks today. We're fine. We're probably going to move sideways a little bit and then move on higher eventually. We're right at support at that 1909 level, bouncing off of it. Silver, the same thing. We've got 25.18 is what we've got today. This could go all the way back down to, a lower level. Even it could even do a retest move lower, all the way down to the 23 area. Will we get down there? I don't exactly know. But I think this sector is a good sector to hang out in and be accumulating either shares or physical ounces. Platinum, been moving on up today, 1.17%, still looking solid, bouncing off its support line here. So it's still looking good for a big move up. Looking at the XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver mining companies are outperforming gold. We are back up to this level here, looking at it. So we've made some pretty good progress. It looks like the mining companies are breaking out against gold. The mining companies are definitely a spot I would be looking at for potential investment, because this ratio is basically saying that gold is most likely going to go into a bull market as the mining companies are outperforming gold itself and putting in a bottom. Downtrend momentum, sideways momentum, and now we're trying to break to the upside. The market conditions are very ripe for an outperformance of the gold miners in relationship to gold in a gold bull market. So looking at some of the companies like Karora Resources, I do like this one. It's broken out. We're getting a little bit of resistance right where I put that line. It was down a little bit today. EXK is looking fantastic. This is a bullish engulfing pattern. We do have a little wick at the top. It's not as bullish as it could be, but I still like it here. It's broken out of its downtrend pattern. Here it is on the big picture view, and then we got a break above $7-ish, close above that, and then we're going to go to Candyland up there. It's going to be a big move once we break that. Fortuna Silver Mines is down here. We got a nice little kind of almost a falling wedge. There's our wedge there, a falling wedge. We're moving on up, and I think we're going to continue higher. It looks good for a move on up. SILJ moving on up today, up 2.5%. That also has the falling wedge. And we're trying to make our way up to this next resistance line. GDX moving on up. Looking quite solid. Up 2.5%. We'll look at this on the daily candlesticks. There's our daily candlesticks. We've broken out of this downtrend line. Everything's looking good, guys. Just hold on to your shares and let it appreciate for you. Metallic minerals just moving sideways. Again, big picture view on it. This will move on up, I think. We've got the volume stepping in like mad, buying it. I think it's just a matter of time before this heads higher. Koya Resources just trading sideways here. But we've broken out of this line here. We have moved higher from where I've drawn the arrow. We might rest up here for a little bit before moving higher again. Looks like Discovery Silver, nice big update today, 15.5%, looking good. We're still below the downtrend line. First Majestic moving on up, broken the downtrend line. We are inside this gigantic pattern that we got to break eventually. Newmont's already broken out to the upside of its gigantic pattern, moved on up today. Big picture view, there's your big pattern that we've broken right to the upside. Mag Silver, another one that's inside its pattern, still looks pretty good and solid to me. I like it here. If you like Mag Silver. Yamana Gold still looking strong, getting a little bit of selling pressure up here. You can see those wicks at the top of Foreman. But I think gold's going higher eventually, and this will all eventually go on up. Impact Silver moving sideways. We got nice good support, resistance down below where the price is. Big picture view, we still have some work to do. Downtrend, sideways, and then moving up eventually. Aftermath Silver coming into the corner here. We're still moving in the sideways channel. Platinum Group Metals, this looks good, guys. I like the way it's lining up here. How it pulled back, and it looks like we want to move on up with big buying pressure. That one looks good. Siboney, Stillwater, still looking good. It just hit its head. It came on back. Small update today. Looking at the royalty companies, Sandstorm Gold looks like it's finally breaking out of its pattern here. It's doing a little turtle head is what I like to call it. We could even tighten this up and get it down a little bit like this. But that's looking good. Franco-Nevada is right at its resistance line. It's going to try to break out of this guy. It's a big pattern. Once it breaks, it's going to run. EMX, small little down day. It's right below its resistance line, trying to break through it. Teuton Resources getting a little bit more power today, 14.74% update today. I like what that's doing. I was a buyer down here. Wheaton Precious Metals, moving on up, getting some resistance up there. Get a little wicks at the top. It'll break through it, guys. Just be patient. Gold Royalty, playing with its downtrend line that I threw in there. Metallo Royalties, another one moving on up, 2.6%. It's broken out of its downtrend pattern here. This falling wedge that's breaking to the upside, I like it right here. I put it in the donations portfolio. I bought MTA. MMX is another one that's doing, which Metallo is doing. I like buying them on top of these things. Royal Gold's been moving on up. Very strong performer since this pattern breakout right here. There's the breakout and then the move higher. And then Osisko Gold Royalty, it's sitting on top of its pattern. Big picture view, it's right on top of its pattern here. The daily candlesticks, it's sitting on top of it. That's where I usually like to buy, and that's what I do, is I buy on top of these things. So overall, guys, like I really like the gold and silver area. I am adding money into it continually. I'm adding money everywhere, guys. I think these all look incredibly good. I think gold and silver looks good. Oil and natural gas look phenomenal. Uranium looks phenomenal. They all look good. So the time is here. It's coming. And I'm accumulating on top of these patterns. It's what I'm doing. If I got 401k money that's dumping in and other investment money, I just throw it in and just keep piling into all my favorite companies. If they're sitting on top of patterns after breakouts, I buy a little more. And I'm just persistent. I'm like a machine. I just sit there and say, hey, look, we broke out. Either buy it before the breakout, pull back, buy the pullback, let it go. That's it. It's just a machine. And I'm doing that with all sorts of things. Like REMX broke out of its downtrend. That's a rare earth metal, rare earth. Some of those I'm buying, like Appia Energy and all these other ones. Like I'm just finding stuff, dump a little bit in, keep moving, and move on. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out my website. It's in the description link below. It's finding-value.com. If you want to sign up to that and get updates where you can see all these charts right in front of you, I put, at least if you're a platinum member, I put all the stuff that I'm looking at and what I'm potentially buying out there. and then you guys get it firsthand exactly what I'm doing. And some things I don't share as much on the channel. They could be smaller companies in certain different sectors and whatnot. So yeah, sometimes I don't share everything in the big overall YouTube channel type stuff. So if that interests you, definitely sign up. That's what I'll say. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time. This is Finding Value.